Welcome back to another episode of Life Untapped. You may have noticed there was no standard intro music in the beginning, and that is because this is a very different kind of episode, and I don't even know where to begin. Okay, this is not just another episode of Life Untapped, but this is the final episode of Life Untapped. And that is hard, very hard for me to do. This has been such a wonderful, amazing journey. Never in my life would I have thought that I, Fran, would do a podcast and just, all the technical things that go into it and, all the work. And I'm honestly, I've got to say, I'm very proud of what we have all accomplished this past year of podcasting. So lots of things went into why I'm making this decision. And a few weeks ago, I don't have the date right on hand or the episode number, but if you scroll back a few episodes, I did a show on pivots. And so crazy because unbeknownst to me, here I am doing a pivot, and I just did not really see this coming. What I had planned to do was just take the month of December off. I wanted to be fully present and mindful and intentional with my family and not be rushed. So I was going to take the month of December off and come back in January. And then a few things were just happening. I don't know. God just places things on my heart, and I just have to pray and I just have to listen. And it just... my journey over the past, it's probably almost 2 years now, of helping women just wasn't keeping me busy enough. It just wasn't, I hate to say, it wasn't worth the time and effort into everything I do on the technical side, between the website and the recording of the podcast and the technical side of my system online for the online course and then the team of assistants that I paid to help. It just, when I look at it on paper, I'm like, it's just not keeping me busy enough. Yeah, sure, it probably wasn't bringing in enough clients, but money doesn't really matter to me. And I know that sounds crazy, but at the end of the day, this money still has to be worth it for me to put in all that time. So that's why I'm saying the time isn't worth it anymore for me. And I want to be busier. I want to help more people. So again, I just started thinking, gosh, maybe I should just end it here. And I'm not a quitter. Y'all, if you know me, I persist. I am so not a quitter. But when I have to think of my family needs time, there's a lot of time that goes into this, not just the weekly shows, but a lot of time that goes into everything. And if the financial benefit is not there, not worth it, and I'm not working with enough people, well, then all that time is taken away from my family. And that makes me sad. That makes me sad. I have a 7-year-old granddaughter that I'm homeschooling. And it's crazy because it's only one. And I know a lot of you guys out there probably raised more than one. I had 4. And when I took on her, I was like, gosh, this is going to be a breeze. I did 4. It's only 1. Mathematically, it's fine. No, her personality is 5. It's a lot harder, But anyway, so she takes a lot of time, a lot of energy. And yes, I know I'm reminded I'm older. So there's that. And I don't want to be rushed, and I don't want to have less patience for her, So this is very hard for me because I love what I do, and I love you guys. And I just love helping women just, have that growth mindset and just be the best version of themselves that they can. And that is still my passion. So I'm still going to be here to help you. So you want to work with me, it's all good. Just contact me another way, because I'm not going to even have my website anymore. Just message me on social media. Facebook is where I hang out. So Francine Rivera on Facebook. I think the technical URL, and I'll put it in the show notes, is francine.c for cat. Not that cat's my middle name, but francine.c.rivera is where you can find me on Facebook, or my email, and I'll put that in the show notes too. So I'm still going to I still have all the qualifications. I still have the desire to work with people. I'm just not having my formal store, if you will, and I just did air quotes, set up. I'm not going to have all the technical things online that I was managing and doing, because that was draining. It was draining me, and it was draining me from being my best and with my granddaughter and the rest of my family. So a little different direction. And like I said, I need to be busier. So I'm thinking of something else that's been on my mind for decades. But it's way too soon to talk about that right now. But yeah, like, God's not done with me, and I'm only 57, and most people have their best years, believe it or not. In fact, I just posted a stat in our private Facebook group, which is still a pretty cool place to hang out in, and maybe I'll put the link for that in the show notes too, because I'll still see stuff that's going on in the group, and that'll be a great way to connect with me and get support from others. But anyway, I posted something in the group that showed the statistics of females in their advanced stages, right, from 50 on, and everything that they've accomplished. And somebody told me that her grandmother, who lived to 97, okay, so listen to this, said her best years were her 70s. Could you imagine? Like, I would never, ever have thought that was possible. And when I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, that is like so freaking like hopeful. Because like so many of us think you get to a certain age and like you're just done. Like you've got nothing else to contribute in the world. And that is so not true. Like we have the most buying power. We talked about that with Quavi last week or 2 weeks ago. And, it's not so much that we tend to have financially more freedom at this age, but we're just wiser and we're not as stressed. Well, I mean, there's lots of things to be stressed about, but we're usually not as stressed as when our kids were very young and you're just wondering how everything's going to work out. So even though you may be retired from, say, a career, and you just retired and you're like, I don't know, late 50s, early 60s, there's still so much life left in you. So don't think that it's over and you're just to be faded into the background and to become invisible. And that's just not true. Like you can reinvent yourself. You can grow, you can pivot, you can do whatever you want. Even if it doesn't even revolve around an income, you now have the time to go and volunteer, go do a passion, maybe go learn a hobby. Maybe it's just been your thing to always learn how to fill in the blank. Well, now is your time, girl. Like, go ahead. These are your years, okay? And if, like we talk a lot about in Life on Tap, and finding your vision, find your vision. Just because you're a certain number, a certain age, does not mean you're done and your vision, that this is just for like people in their 30s or 20s. We are a youth obsessed culture. Just look around. We are youth obsessed. And if that's all you're seeing, it makes sense that you think your best years are behind you. There's a lot of older people. Gosh, I wish I had them right now. I should have wrote them down, that I follow on even Instagram, like Older It Girl. I think there might be some underscores in there, but she is fantastic for like style. And there's some really like the older people who are just like killing it in fashion. And there's that, you may remember, this was like trending all over Facebook a while ago. This older lady, I don't know if she was in her 70s or 80s, but she was like weightlifting and totally cut, and she was doing shows. So start to follow older females. Sandy Krakowski is another one, and she might be still in her 50s, but she's phenomenal. Everything she's overcome and what she's doing and all the businesses she has, and weightlifting and all that stuff. if all you're doing is following youthful people, because really that's the majority of what you see, you're going to be a little sad, a little depressed, and looking in the mirror going, where do I fit in? So you have to have role models for where you're going in life, where you're going to be in the next decade. All that to say, there's more to you. Do not fade into the background. Do not think you have to shrink. Do not think you have given it all and you have nothing left to give. That is a lie from the pit of hell, meant to hold you back. So don't hold back. Life on Tap might be closing down, website, technically podcast, right? All the technical side is closing down, but it is still here. It is still a mindset. I'm still here. I can still help you. We can still work together. Like I said, I'm just simplifying my life and doing some pivots. Yeah, I'm praying about it. Like I will go wherever God leads me. And all that noise you hear in the background is this sudden, if you do hear it, sudden rainstorm. It's just coming down like crazy. So, yes. So this is very sad because who knew I was going to love podcasting? And when I first came on the podcasting scene, it was exactly a year ago. It was the end of November, and I made the commitment to be here every week for a year, and I did it. And I have to say, I'm proud of myself. I'm going to pat myself on the shoulder because I stuck with it. And like I said, if nothing, I'm committed, and I just stick things out. And I'm proud. There was a show every week, and I know it's blessed so many of you because I've gotten your messages, I've gotten your inboxes, I've gotten the emails, the stats from who's listening from all over the globe, which I've mentioned a few times, continues to blow my mind. Like, wow, how did you find this show? And then it's, of course, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like so many people know English living in other countries. I wish I knew a second language, but hey, maybe you should learn a second language in your retirement years or your older years. So like I said, that's been something on my mind too. Maybe I'll pick up another language. I don't know, but you know where I'm going with this, right, ladies? It's not over. Do whatever your heart desires. Reinvent yourself at any stage in life. Do not believe that you're done, that you can't turn around and do something totally different. That, I believe, is just the enemy holding you back and giving you all these limiting beliefs. And I've done a lot of episodes on limiting beliefs. Go back and listen to them. Don't let that hold you back. Don't be your worst enemy. So I'm still here for you. I hope you are still pushing forward with your personal growth and unlimiting your mindsets and your, not having your stinking thinking and still doing the self-care, because gosh, that is like the key to everything, is just taking care of yourself. So then you can pursue what makes you happy. You can then take care of your family without feeling burnt out. So there you go. And I usually end all these episodes with, until next time you are worth it, but there's not going to be a next time. I don't think. I don't know. We'll see. I have no plans on podcasting. Like, this is it. Life on Tap podcast is officially ending today, but podcast membership is in effect for quite a few more months. So maybe I'll just come on to say, hey, how you doing? See if anybody's still listening. Who knows? But reach me on Facebook. I'll have that all in the show notes. But not until next time. But I do want you to know, and I really, really mean it. I want this to burn into your mind, burn into your heart, and write it somewhere. Write it on your bathroom mirror. Put it on a note and just put it on your phone. Make it your screensaver. But know that you are worth it. And I thank you. And I thank you for everything. And I love you for being here. And I love you for listening. And for all of you guys who left reviews. It really meant the world to me. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And you are worth it.